Hi friends, and welcome to today's reading. We are looking at why. So why did this happen? Why is this happening? Why is this person behaving this way? Why are my circumstances like this? Why am I experiencing this internal feeling or shift? So whichever image you're most drawn to, that will be your pile. We have 1, 2, 3, and 4. So let's get right to it. Okay friends, if you picked pile 1, this will be your reading, so let's get right into it. We're going to save these tea leaves for the end. They are your helper cards, so whatever the situation is, these cards will be like a helping hand for you. So the cards that you chose are Perspective and Love. Also, I love this artist. She's one of my favorite artists. She always inspires me with her mystical artwork. This deck is the Gratitude Oracle, and the artist is Josephine. If you're curious, she has a few really wonderful decks. So what I'm getting right away is that whatever you are asking about is helping you shift your perspective into one that's more loving. It's helping you to cultivate a deeper sense of compassion and understanding for others. I decided for this reading to read these ones specifically from the book. I would also say for some of you, you have 2 1s here, so it could also be the beginning of some sort of loving situation, or that this perspective shift is helping initiate loving connections in your life. So reading perspective first. It says, you have formed opinions and beliefs throughout your life, with many factors contributing to what and how you think. Your family, culture, experiences, and education play a role in what you believe and how you feel about the world and yourself. Identify your opinion of the matter at hand and consider how it formed. Who and what has influenced your point of view? Imagine how the situation might look different from a different perspective. There may be a benefit in modifying your viewpoint. You can change your perspective by acknowledging the positive aspects of a scenario. Look at what you have before you and find the hidden jewels that shift you into a place of happiness. Become aware of the power of gratitude and work to implement it. It will take effort, but the benefits of the shifted perspective will seep into all areas of your life and create numerous rewards for you. Your affirmation is, as I shift my perspective, my world opens to positivity and possibility. Yeah, so whatever is happening for you or did happen was helping you potentially heal a wound that was preventing you from connecting authentically with others, perhaps a mental block that was having you project things that were internal experiences onto the external world that weren't desired. And maybe that wasn't the only potential, but because that's what you knew or expected, that is what you got. So, love. It says love is an essential aspect of life. Most people seek the perfect partner or loving support from another. The most vital step to finding your love or maintaining a loving relationship is to foster the love you have for yourself. You cannot look to a partner to fix what is lacking in you or your life. It is imperative to work towards your own fulfillment. You will attract whatever vibration you give off. If you desire a loving, supportive, understanding individual, work to polish those qualities in yourself and don't settle for anything less. Things rarely turn out as expected. Holding firm expectations about how life should unfold can lead to disappointment. No one will ever be the perfect friend or partner. Don't try to second-guess how a relationship will go. Avoid having unrealistic expectations of how your partner should respond or behave. Remember that no one thinks precisely the way you do. Everyone has dreams, goals, and desires of their own. Lots of communication and finding common ground are keys to loving relationships. Every individual has a unique and precious gift to share with the world. Accept others as they are without trying to change them. See the love and positive aspects of another person. When you focus your attention on positivity and gratitude, that energy expands. By centering on the best in others, you attract more of the same to yourself. Instead of feeling fraught with challenges, the people you bring into your life will share your positive outlook, offer supportive input, and you will find your love and gratitude are returned to you tenfold. Your affirmation is, I love myself and give love to those in my life. Yeah, so with these two cards together, I feel as though this is suggesting that potentially things either in your love life, or within your connections with others haven't been the way that you wanted or expected. And this is offering you an opportunity to shift something internally so that you can attract the most, why do I want to say congruent, compatible, and reciprocal relationships to yourself. Because yeah, even, down to like love languages, you can be with the most amazing person ever, but if their love language is words of affirmation, but your love language is acts of service, there's already a disconnect there. So yeah, part of this is just shifting your perspective into just seeing the good in general and not letting yourself get hung up on what's lacking, because if you're hung up on what's lacking, then life will present you with more opportunities to see lack, versus if you can see the abundance and the beauty of what's already there, then you can more easily attract more of that. I'm also noticing the difference in the colors here. Like this one is very bright and light, and this one is at night. But it almost looks like the dawn is happening here with perspective. So you may already be on this path, but if not, just know that that dawn is coming. I'm trying to keep this reading to be pretty short and straightforward, but I'll pull one card just to sort of assure you you're in the right place. Leo wanted to poke out there, so if you're dealing with a Leo or are a Leo, or dealing with something passionate, creative, maybe even childish, what can assure this group that they're in the right place? Alright, Sagittarius on the bottom, Mars on the top, so maybe a lot of fire energy is happening. You had one card that fell alone and one that fell out together. So you have Mercury, which rules Gemini. You have Uranus, which rules Aquarius. I want to say Pisces, but no, Aquarius. And then you have Aries, which is ruled by Mars also, so more fiery energy. So just kind of insight into what might be going on. Mercury talks a lot about the mind, perhaps mental chatter, the way that you think, study, communication in general. So this situation might have something to do with communication. With Uranus there, Uranus to me speaks of community, the people that you're connected to, as well as like eccentricity, people, places, or I don't know, hobbies, careers, whatever, that are very different outside of the box. With those two together, I would say that this group, or what this group is asking about, is, yeah, just the quality is of thinking outside the box, being very different, being very eccentric, challenging social norms, even in a bit of a jest. Mercury is very much symbolic of like the hermaphrodite, of being neutral or without gender. So perhaps that neutrality or something blending with something that is different outside of the box, new to you, perhaps like new thinking within your circle or the world. And then you have Aries, which is very fiery. It's also an initiating energy, which really links with the one. Aries is the first sign in the zodiacal calendar. So this could be something that's fairly new and fresh to you. Perhaps these ideas or new ways of thinking are very new to you. And it can also be symbolic of, yeah, just a very passionate new beginning, or a very fiery person, somebody who has very fiery qualities of Aries, Sagittarius, and Mars. So it's a lot of fire and air energy. It could feel like fireworks or firecrackers, or like a fire getting fanned and getting bigger and bigger, whether that be passion or anger. Yes, okay. I will pull just a few more cards for you. This one, I just want a little bit more insight about what's behind the scenes of this. Negative mindset and physical activity. Yeah, so for this group, you might just be having a negative mindset about this, and that's why things are just not how you want them, because again, it comes back to like perspective, right? If you're focusing on the negative, then you are solidifying it in reality. So you might be somebody who needs more physical activity, and that's what helps shift your mindset. Take this as a sign to go for a walk, go for a run, move your body, dance, something to just move the negative emotions through you. I also see like you have Mercury, Uranus, and Aries kind of in line with that. So I almost feel like with the negative mindset, it's just like really being in your head, and like this shift and transformation and change happens once you're physical, and that's what sort of can light you up and give you the energy or the passion to do this. At the bottom you have hope, so there's your sign that there is hope. You don't need to give up. And then promote, interesting. So perhaps promoting, I feel like this is really like, unless you're relating to this as a small business owner or an artist. This is my friend Ashton's Artist Block Oracle, so it is directed at artists, but this could be just promoting feelings of well-being and promoting what you want to see, promoting your ideas to this situation or to people, putting things out there, getting more involved in the community. Yeah. Hosting an event, that's awesome. New social sites, I would say new social events too. And just putting yourself out there more. Any final messages from group 1, higher self? We had the Magician pop out and the Tower. So yeah, again, being aware of how you create your reality, whether it's building things up or bringing things down. We also have the Seven of Swords, so just being really authentic and true with, whoa, that's way too many cards. I'm not going to read all those. Sorry, that's like 10 cards. I'll just say, as I pick them up, like, knowing that this process is slow, the process is slow and takes time for healing these kinds of things. And it will heal over time. You will move forward into, you know, happier days. It's just going to take a little time, but whatever this relationship is, there's a lot of strength and happiness and fulfillment behind it. It just takes aligning your mind to your desires. Any other messages from this group's guiding forces for their greatest good and the greatest good of all beings everywhere? Okay. So you have the card of planning reversed and the Prince of Swords reversed, which to me just is talking about getting out of your head. Stop thinking about the future and letting your mind race and like jumping into things, and just see if you can ground and be present right here, right now. You have the Ace of Pentacles reversed and the Four of Pentacles reversed. So how would I read this? I I feel like this is talking about giving and receiving. Like, are you actually open to receiving what you want to receive? Is it in your aura? What is in your aura, and how might what you're receiving be related to what you're holding in your mind and your energy more so than what you're actually facing? And how might you in ways be keeping out what it is that you actually want? That's your first message. You have 5 of Wands reversed, so I feel like this is like there's no need to fight. There is all this fiery energy and air energy. But oh my god, but you can literally have whatever you want with the 7 of Cups and the 3 of Cups. There's so much joy readily available to you, and celebration and connection with others. It just takes getting really clear about what you actually want and focusing your mind there instead of on lack. This is getting to be really repetitive. So let's just take a look at your tea leaf cards. These are your helper cards. You have Wreath, Sorrow over a Loss, and you have August. So yeah, I feel like this is sort of that perhaps in August, towards the end of summer, you'll see this really culminate, so have patience until then. And if there is something you've lost, like, let yourself mourn it for sure, but don't let yourself get wrapped up in this energy that, you know, it's also on these cards here, like keeping out what you want and being in conflict, potentially like internal conflict, or perhaps like what's happening in your mind or your aura isn't aligning with like the truth or the reality of this situation. And so give yourself a few months. When I'm reading this, it is almost June. June is in like a day or two. So give yourself the summer to like really lean into positive, good feelings, like going out in the sun, feeling it on your skin, looking at the beautiful flowers, listening to the birds, engaging in experiences that you love, getting outside and getting physical activity, and really just feeding the parts of yourself that will feel just really good and playful and joyful and happy, and let that process sort of soak the more positive expectations into your bones, so that that is then what you carry with you, and that will bring you into alignment with what you actually want. Okay, group 1, that was your reading. Thank you so much for being here. I appreciate you as always. If you want to like and subscribe, that's always helpful. Leave a comment if it was helpful for you. And I really hope to see you next time. Okay, bye. Hey group 2, welcome to your reading. Before we even start, the candle that I was burning burned out during group 1. So perhaps something is happening with you, with a transition of something ending and something new beginning. Maybe that's why you're here, for some of you. So let's dive in. We're going to save these cards for the end. These are your helper cards. Your card is Seek. So right off the bat, what I get is that whatever it is that you're asking about is encouraging you to dive deeper, and this could be diving deeper within yourself, within your own hidden treasures, your own desires, your own wisdom, your own memories, your own thoughts. It could also be looking outside of yourself in terms of, you know, reading certain texts to gain wisdom, whether it's like spiritual texts, self-help texts, just reading books that interest you, perhaps pursuing new wisdom traditions. But this is putting you on a journey to seek knowledge. This really screams the Hermit card to me. And actually, this is interesting. This is the Hermit card in this deck, and also has an owl, so that's interesting. The Star Tarot. Maybe this is seeking your North Star, just because of the weird similarity there. Seeking, like, whatever you're experiencing or whatever you're asking about is helping you seek purpose, perhaps, or wisdom or knowledge that'll help you come closer to your purpose, or, you know, your true, you know, I feel like everyone has many reasons for being here on Earth, and it doesn't have to be like some big, like, oh, I'm meant to, you know, fulfill this prophecy or create this huge monument or something. I'm here to become the Queen of the United States. You know, we have so many purposes to something as simple as like just being kind, or helping our family work through karmas, helping our friends work through things, being a mirror for others, helping others. So there's so many minor, I don't even want to call it minor because they're huge, they matter. All of these purposes matter. I'll call them little purposes because it's like everyday things, just the way that we show up in the world already effortlessly. What you're seeking could be to help you find more ways that are satisfying, deeply satisfying on a soul level, and will help you further express these purposes in the world. But we're going to read from the book. This is Angela Hartfield and Josephine Wall. Josephine Wall's the artist. She is incredible. Her art inspires me so much. So, let's read for Seek. 17:8. That's also the Strength card. And the symbol of infinity, eternity, prosperity. It's also the symbol above the Strength card's head, too. It also makes me think the Magician. I think the traditional Rider-Waite tarot magician has an infinity above their head, too. Okay, 17, Seek. Seek out study or hobbies that captivate you. When you actively seek out new information, you can develop your memory, self-confidence, and creativity, improve your resourcefulness and motivation, and feel more positive. Fresh experience, know-how, and learning add value to your life. New knowledge is a reward in itself, and the time you invest finding your passions will bring you into contact with people who may share the same ideals as you. Learning something new can boost your enthusiasm and positive energy. There are many ways to learn. Self-teaching is becoming ever more possible due to online courses and instructional videos. You can also find books that hold the knowledge you seek. If you commit 15 minutes an evening to reading, you may be amazed at how quickly you expand your mind. You can also listen to audiobooks when you're in transit, especially if you have a long commute. Eliminate habits that are time wasters or allow you to disengage during the day. These might include watching endless amounts of television, playing video games, or pursuing social media. Be positive and passionate as you seek your next area of learning. Aligning your desire to learn with a passion or interest will support your ability to stick with your study and achieve goals. Your affirmation is, I am grateful for my ability to seek out new information. I love this for you, especially with the candle thing. Like, why you might be here is perhaps feeling a sort of like stagnant energy, or perhaps even something ended and now you're just like, well, what the heck? And the whole reason is to help sort of like freshen you up with new information. Like, there's so much more you need to learn, and where you were at before might have been like you had reached this limit of potential. And so for you to fully embody your greatest potential, you're now being called to learn something new. Or many new things. There's a website called Udemy for those of you who want like a cheap online course. It's Udemy. I got a couple of courses from there during COVID that were like $5 or $10 a course. It's really awesome, and you can they have like everything, you guys, from like learning how to run a business to like hypnosis and shamanic journeying. There's probably one on reading tarot cards if you're curious about that. And like environmental stuff, gardening, like you can learn anything on Udemy. I mean, YouTube also free resource, but Udemy is pretty badass. Highly recommend. Awesome. I have a really positive feeling for this group. I also feel a deep sense of calm. I feel a lot more calm than when I was reading Group 1's cards. So it feels like a perfect place, like you're safe to go inward or learn. Like there's no real like external pressure for you to that would prevent you from doing this. So I don't know if you need to hear that. Maybe you're someone who likes to like make excuses. You have plenty of time and resources to do this. Cool. Take that too. So these are zodiacal cards to just like bring further clarity on this and also maybe confirm for whoever chose this pile that this is theirs. At the bottom you have Gemini, which talks about learning and communication, thinking in different ways. You have Capricorn at the top, so it could be for your work. Capricorn, yeah, means work to me. Or even grounding your learning or what you know. Like maybe there are things that you know some about and you really want to like ground that knowledge, learn more, deepen it. And yeah, it could again be for your work, either like furthering the work you're already doing or potentially going into a new realm of work. Words! My words today are being really funny, so let's just take them as they are. A new realm of work. Maybe the realm that you were in with your work was kind of like, I don't know, like the Shire. And then you are going into this new realm of work and it's like Rivendell. And your experience is just like very vastly different and very expansive. And it's because you had, outgrown that other realm. But you have Aquarius, love that for you, and you have Scorpio, also love that for you. So the first thing I'm noticing is that these are both fixed signs. So what is a fixed sign? Fixed signs don't really change. They are who they are, they do what they do, and they're not really open to new things. I feel like these cards are looking at you. They're like, you've been doing the same, and it's time to change. Aquarius is also very outside the box, ruled by Uranus and Saturn, which is interesting because they seem like very different energies to me. But yeah, Aquarius is like the new age rebel, the futuristic thinking, the creator of new tech that hadn't been thought of before. The psychics, the weirdos, the artists even, I would say. And then Scorpio is like the mystics, the healers, the shamans, the deep thinkers, the psychos. I'm claiming that one because I'm Scorpio rising and my moon is in the 8th house, which is ruled by Scorpio. So I'm claiming all of this, by the way. Oh, this is interesting. So in shamanic traditions, the shaman was one who went through a time of psychosis, actually. A time of their mind working in a way that was very different, very painful, very difficult, even like schizophrenic. And they find their way back from that. They go to the brink of like insanity, even the brink of the break, and they come back. It's sort of like the image of like Persephone going into the underworld and then returning. But Persephone inevitably always has to go back. So there's something to that here. Like potentially, I wonder if something that wounded you is now encouraging you to pursue this new path because you have a newfound passion about it. So for example, I think of like somebody who was in a really narcissistic relationship and then, they suddenly get this interest in that mental functioning of that and how to navigate situations like that. And maybe they go from working as like a receptionist to like a support person for women in situations like that, or men, or wanting to go into psychology now because they became so fascinated with the mind through this. What could another example be? Okay, another example. You were living a totally normal life, and then something really tragic happened that caused you really deep pain and sadness, and because of that, you had something deep in you shift and change, and now your sort of like mundane day-to-day like white picket fence life is no longer it for you, and you're suddenly very interested in the occult or in different mystical traditions, something like that. Or you were injured and suddenly now you're drawn into like a yogic tradition, and that totally shifts your reality. So this could be a lot of things. Again, we're reading for who knows how many people, but take that as you will. Let's pull a few more cards. So this is from my friend Ashton's Artist Block Oracle. It was traditionally made to help artists get out of blocks or help aid artists. But let's just get a little bit more information here. What does this group need to know? That's a lot of cards. We're not gonna take all of those. A lot are falling out, you guys. Maybe it is, like, maybe you are here because you have felt blocked in some way, or you're just like stuck in place, and yeah, this is your call to get really weird and go really deep. Goodness, okay. You have the card, it is finished. So maybe whatever ended you've been wanting to hang on to, refusing to let go of, and this is you being told, oh, I'm gonna sneeze. Okay, I'm not gonna sneeze. Kind of being told by your higher self or your guides that you need to just let it go. Like, there's no going back. It's like, once Frodo's on his way to Mount Doom, he can't just turn around and go back to the Shire. You know, it's his destiny to keep moving forward. As hard as it is, as scary as the unknown is, he has to keep going because it's his destiny. So that might be part of this, is like fear of the unknown, the unfamiliar. Maybe things have been the same for a long time, but yeah, something changed. And again, it's going to be different for all of you, but something changed. That's no longer your life. Is there anything else from this deck? I think that's it. Okay, and a final message before we read your tea leaf help cards. I just want to say, group 2, I think you are really weird. You're either closeted weird, like secretly weird, or outright weird, because even the way I'm talking is not normally how I talk, like with all these accents or whatever. Like sometimes I do that, but I don't know, y'all are just bringing it out in me. Maybe it's time for you to embrace your inner weirdo and stop trying to blend in. Maybe that's what part of this is. Final message for group 2. That is way too freaking many cards. Yeah, something might have happened. Well, yeah, I'm not even gonna read all those, sorry. Just give us a few cards, please. For group 2, final message. Alright, we're putting these back. Some of these are the same, so I will take them. At the bottom, you have the Prince of Pentacles, which talks about slow movement and offerings. And then you have the Five of Swords. So it could be like moving on from like a toxic situation even. It might just be taking time. That's like the Bully card. That was the card that I liked least creating, actually, because it's so unpleasant. This is closest, so we're gonna look at it. So you have the Ten of Cups. Reversed. So reversed, it makes, like, the first word that comes to mind is overindulgence or overdoing things, because upright, it's like all your needs are met. You're with soul family, you're in a beautiful place, everything is good, the food is good, the pleasure's good, the drink is good, company's good. Reverse, it's almost like overdoing it, so that might be a part of what this change is, either like a forced change that's now forcing you to change your ways, like maybe even something to do with your health changing, like, and now your lifestyle is needing to change, or perhaps like needing to leave an overindulgent environment in order to come deeper into your inner self. Again, it can look a lot of ways for a lot of people. I'm just gonna put them down and then we'll talk about it. We have the Ten of Pentacles, the Page of Pentacles, Page of Wands reverse, sorry, Seven of Wands, Five of Cups reverse, the Justice key upright, and then the Master card, which was an extra card in my deck that I will explain after. So what am I seeing here? The Ten of Pentacles talks about inheritance or like generational wealth. So part of this could be like maybe, you know, someone in your family passed and you're receiving inheritance and don't know what to do. For some of you, it could be that you have a lot of money, but you've either been spending it wrong and now have lost that privilege, or in the past have been spending it in ways that have been harmful for you and now you're needing to change. Why are you needing to change? Because the Page of Wands is reversed, and the Page of Wands to me talks about like passion projects, things that you love to do when you were a kid, things that light you up and make you feel playful. But if you're smothering it with things by overindulging, it's really hard for that energy to actually thrive. A lot of times if we're overindulging, it's to try to cope with some kind of discomfort. That's for some of you. For the rest of, well, not the rest of you, for others of you in this group, it could be like perhaps losing like a childhood friend, whether that's being like death, or them just kind of falling out of your life. And then you have the Seven of Wands, which talks about continuing to move on in your journey, climb that mountain, pursue whatever, climb Mount Doom, keep going, don't give up, don't turn back to what's comfortable, keep going even if it's hard or scary or challenging. Then you have the Five of Cups, and it's in reverse, which I think is a really good thing. Upright, it can talk about just like kind of dwelling on the negative, mourning something. Reversed, it's like letting that go. Let that shit go. See the cup half full instead of half empty. And that'll help you come into balance. It might be that you're like letting go of a habit that wasn't good for you, and as soon as you can shift your mindset about something, I feel like there is maybe something from the past, like an inner child wound that was keeping you in this pattern that wasn't helpful for you. Especially again, Aquarius and Scorpio being fixed signs, it might have been like a minor addiction even. And to come into balance, it's important that you're working with the inner state as well as like the physical. So if you, I'm just going to use an example again because we're reading for a lot of different people, but as an example, in childhood you never felt worthy. And so in adult life, you became addicted to just doing too much and like overachieving. And then with that overachievement, maybe you had more means, like material, physical, financial means to do things. And maybe then you overindulged. So maybe you got yourself into a lifestyle of like eating very rich foods that aren't good for you, or like going out and having fancy drinks at places with people, or something of that sort. And then your physical health started to suffer because of this. And because it's so ingrained in you, because you've done it so long, it's now a habit. Now, if you try to just, oh, I'm just going to stop eating that food. Oh, I'm just going to stop going out for drinks. I'm going to just stop drinking alcohol. That's going to be really challenging unless you can pinpoint why you were doing it in the first place. Like what in you made you want to do that, because not everybody does that. Not everybody engages in the same behaviors or has the same goals. Not everyone feels like they need to overachieve. Some people are really happy to just sit at home and read cards for free instead of going out and like doing something productive, right? So yeah, I feel like part of this seeking is like figuring out that internal part to be able to move forward. That's for some of you. For others of you, you may have held like this long-term doubt within yourself that you could achieve what you want to do, or that you could actually do what you want to do. With the Page of Wands reverse, the Ten of Cups reverse, and almost feeling like life would be a perpetual state of dissatisfaction. But the reason it's felt like that, or the reason you might be experiencing that feeling, is just because there's a shift that needs to happen on your path. A shift of perspective, even, of like, I can do this, I'm worthy of doing this, I will make it work. And that will mean sacrificing comforts in order to do it. And it will bring you into balance and harmony with yourself, your body, the universe, your community, God. Like, it's the right choice for you to make this change. And it will bring you prosperity. You don't have to worry about that. But what you do need to worry about is shifting that internal voice that's telling you that you can't, or you're not worthy, or it won't be acceptable, especially with Scorpio and Aquarius, which are very taboo signs, by the way, of just like the occult and the mystery and things that are pretty condemned in society. So yeah, it seems this is a very multifaceted reading. It feels a little less straightforward than pile 1, but I guess to try to start wrapping up, what I'm getting from this is that something needs to change. There are parts of yourself that you haven't let see the light of day in a long time that need to see the light of day. And the reason that you're staying stagnant is partially because of an internal thing, partially because of doing things the same instead of being open to change, and part of it potentially because of just habit. Part of this might be releasing shame with Scorpio and Aquarius. And you need to let go of something. And then this card, the Master card, it's in reverse. So I feel like, again, this kind of comes back to the internal empowerment of understanding that you are the master of your world. And it's the same image of seeking, actually, both ways. There's a character that's like looking up to the heavens, and then a character that's bringing it down to earth. So seeking is definitely really important at this time. Seeking wisdom, seeking help, seeking something within yourself, seeking truth, seeking new opportunities. And a lot of it's going to have to do with, things that are taboo, occult, different, futuristic, ancient, weird. On the outside of society, I have so much Aquarius and Scorpio too, so I'm very much into this energy, okay? But it's like the people on the outsides of society. There's something with that for you. But the Master card talks about this cycle of being in a dark place, and from there reaching for wisdom or guidance, and then, reaching these sorts of like enlightened states, and then bringing that wisdom back down to earth and grounding it to earth. I'm interested in why it's reverse. To me, it pretty much means the same reason, but like a sort of internal process of mastery that's happening through the seeking. So that's what I'm gonna keep it as. Oh, you know what too, actually? So with it reversed, so when I made this is like the Hanged Man in this deck, and this is like the Death Key. And with it reversed, I almost feel like it's like, stop waiting. It's already done with. Stop waiting, it's already done. Or stop waiting to transform. Stop waiting to transform. The time is now. The time is now, and you know that the time is now because of you being in this reading, for one, and because of what you've been experiencing internally and in your life, for two. Okay, so your little helper cards. We have Lightning. It says, control your anger, you'll be sorry. And Barrel. You feel something is lacking in your life, perhaps love, money, or goals. Okay. So I'm taking out the meaning of lightning unless that really resonates with you and you need that message. And let's just read it like this. Like, something is lacking in your life, and here's your lightning bolt moment. Like, here's your lightning bolt moment of someone telling you exactly how it is. Happy to do that, by the way. As well as like waiting like for that aha moment. You may have had it during this reading, but it'll hit you in an instant, like what you need to do. And it's important that you listen to that. Do not ignore that feeling. You might have even had the thought before. If you get it again, don't ignore it. It's so important. Guys, it is so important. The lightning will spark you. This inspiration will spark you. And there will be just like no stopping you. Don't stop yourself. Don't let yourself stop yourself. It's really important that you let yourself do this. Why? To get unstuck. Why are you experiencing this? Because it's no longer for you. It's finished. Okay. I'm not going to go into it anymore. Thank you so much, Group 2, for being here. This was really fun and very interesting. You are definitely deep divers. I feel like we went very deep with this reading, and I was even having to try to figure some things out. So, yeah, I hope that this was helpful for you, and I hope that this can be your lightning spark of inspiration to go do something amazing and fun that you're passionate about, that'll light you up and make you feel so good, and like you have finally arrived in this place of yes-ness, of like, yes, this is me, and yes, this is what I'm here to do. That's the vibe I'm getting. That's what's waiting for you on the other side of this. Why? Okay, so thank you so much. I hope that you'll like and subscribe and leave a comment if this resonated with you. Give details if you want to. And I hope to see you next time. Okay, bye. Hey, Group 3, welcome to your reading. Let's dig right in. I'm going to put these to the side. These are your helper cards. We'll read them at the very end. Your card is Reveal. So I'm going to read from the deck for this. I'm just going to read from the deck. I have some ideas, but that's how we're rolling with today's reading. This artist is amazing, by the way. So the book is by Angela Hartfield, and the deck is by Josephine Wall. She is my favorite oracle artist. Her paintings really, really inspire me because they're so mystical and so beautiful, and as an artist, I'm so inspired by her. So let's get into it. 49, Reveal. You may be hesitant to allow others into your trust due to past experiences. Being vulnerable can be one of your greatest attributes, yet you feel you risk too much of your soul by letting your guard down. When you build a protective wall around your heart, it keeps out both the good and the bad. You end up missing so much because your fears keep you from feeling safe. You may be exhausted from trying to keep people out. You may be suspicious of others' motives. You learn how to hide your emotions. It's time to learn how to embrace them. It's time to reveal the truth of who you are. Trust issues may be at the forefront for you. Allowing someone into your life can feel scary and intrusive. Trying to open up after being hurt can feel overwhelming. As you consciously choose to be honest and open, you can change your outcomes for the better. Allow your intuition and instincts to guide you. Don't let negativity from the past dictate your future. Take baby steps towards revealing more of who you are. Push yourself to try one thing each day that requires you to feel. Consider using affirmations, journaling, giving yourself pep talks, or expressing love to yourself in the mirror. As you reveal yourself, you show others that they too can be brave and drop their guard as well. As you begin to reconnect to your heart, be gentle with your emotions and expectations. You may have suppressed your feelings for quite a while. You might have a very loud inner critic. Practice showing your feelings a little at a time. Be mindful of where you may have projected blame or your opinions onto others. Acknowledge your emotions, and know they can change constantly. Hunger, the need to sleep, or physical pain can affect your emotions. Be aware of why you feel a certain way, and allow yourself to move through those feelings. Lower your walls to reveal the beauty of your soul. Your affirmation is, I am ready and willing to reveal myself to the world. I am grateful to be able to let others into my life. So this is interesting. I wasn't going to read it that way, so I'm really glad that I read from the book. The other very interesting thing is that my door was open for the first two readings, and I closed the door for this reading. And as I was reading that to you, I saw tiny little paws approach from under the door and create little shadows. My roommate's kitty was you know, waiting to come in, but because the door is shut, he couldn't. But to be symbolic of opening the heart, I'm going to open the door now so he can come in. Hello. I'm actually going to show you him just because he's cute. I'm obsessed with him. His name is Link. Come here, eat. Look at this sweet guy. Don't go in the flame. Yeah. Look at it. Why would you try to keep this out? You don't want to keep this out. You don't want to keep out of the fire, man. You don't want to keep this out. Oh, okay. Say goodbye. Say goodbye. Okay. Bye. Okay. So, sorry for that interlude. But yeah, I really relate to this pile 3. It can be really hard when you have been betrayed, when you have been taught your whole life that you're unlovable, when basically when your trust has been broken, or when someone has really, you know, broken your heart. It can be really hard to let in after that. But maybe hearing that can be your sort of confirmation of why you're here, or why you're feeling what you're feeling, or why, you know, maybe you have a new person in your life and there's just something that feels off, and maybe it has nothing to do with them and everything to do with, you know, just needing to heal these parts of yourself before you can let somebody in. So let's make the goal of this reading to understand actually how you can go about this. Since the door is open now. The door is open. So let's read based on that. Like, I almost feel like for this group, I've been having a conversation with my partner lately about how asking why is actually not helpful. And honestly, I feel like for this group, and this might be the only group like that, we're not going to go into the why of why that person did what they did. We're not going to do that. But we can look at why you're experiencing what you're experiencing now, and let's look at actually how to heal that, okay? It feels like it'd be a lot more helpful than trying to understand, because what that person did has nothing to do with you and everything to do with them. So let's get more information for group 3. We have Neptune. Neptune rules Pisces. You might be just very sensitive. You might be a very sensitive, dreamy person, and, you know, maybe somebody busted that dreamy image that you had of them. I get that. I have a ton of Pisces in me too. And it can be really hard when reality doesn't meet with our dream expectations. People are human, though. Okay, we have 2 more. That's what I want. You have Mars at the bottom and Sagittarius on the top. So some fiery energy. You have Libra and Capricorn. So these might be significant of you and this person, or aspects of yourself. I kind of want to pull more cards, but right off the bat, Capricorn makes me think of somebody who's grounded, trustworthy, and stable. And Libra makes me think of the qualities of harmony, kindness, compassion, friendship, and peacemaking. So I wonder if these are the qualities that you're dreaming of. Like, you might be somebody who's very sensitive and watery, and what you really need is, like, in a person is somebody who can be sensitive. It's the sea goat, right? So sensitive like a Pisces, while also having 2 feet on solid ground. There's a duality actually to both of these cards. The scale has darkness on one side, lightness on one side, and yeah, water on one side, earth on one side. So I feel like what you're also looking for is somebody who's very balanced And this could come with cultivating balance within yourself, so cultivating these qualities that you're looking for. Like if you're somebody who is very dreamy and swept away by fantasy and ideals, potentially planting 2 feet on the ground, focusing on like day-to-day work, being in your physical body, could be helpful. And also like seeing both sides of the situation, being fair with others, being kind to others, which, you know, I'm sure you are, but, you know, also just being fair, looking at both sides of everything. And both of these together just feel very grounded to me. They're also green, which is the color of the heart chakra, so potentially embodying these kinds of energies will help you come from this more like kind of like spacey emotional place to a more grounded, heart-centered place that will help you be more open to receiving. Comparison. What can help this group get unblocked? This is from the artist block. There we go. My friend Ashton made this to help artists get unblocked. But what can help you get unblocked? Okay. Negative mindset at the bottom and development at the top. So whatever happened might have caused you to develop a negative mindset, but now you're working on developing a positive mindset of hope over fear. You have the fear card and the hope card. So let's put, how do I want to arrange these? It feels important. And then you have focus and judgment. Yeah, definitely. So it feels pretty straightforward. Like you may be comparing somebody to somebody from the past. And it might not be a fair judgment. It might be something that you're projecting onto somebody because of past experiences. That might be why you're not trusting them, because you're finding every reason to find the same negative qualities in them as you did in this past experience. This might also be comparing yourself to somebody else, like say if your past experience was being cheated on, maybe you're still in this cycle of like comparing yourself to whoever that person was. Judging yourself. But it's important for you to focus your judgment and maybe make it more into discernment. So, for example, if you experienced a narcissistic relationship in the past, instead of holding on to that judgment in your aura and projecting it onto others, just practice having discernment. Look at like, what did you need in the past to have had more clarity during that time, and how can you embody that now? I almost feel like I'm like dissociating in my mind right now. Like I'm finding it almost hard to read. But yeah, maybe it's not something you want to hear because it's scary and it's hard to trust people again after what you went through. And just because you go through this process of healing doesn't mean that what happened was like okay or fair. But this healing process is setting you free from what happened. It's so important because otherwise you're still held under whatever this person did to you in the past. Comparison says practice self-care and healing. Take a step back and see that you are great the way you are. Self-nurturing is realizing No artist needs to compare, only nurture their uniqueness. I wonder if in the past you felt like you had to fit a certain mold, and maybe that's why things didn't turn out, because the person that you were involved with was drawn to this false image. And that's just not true to who you are. I think that the more that you care for yourself and get clear about who you are and be very clear with whoever this is, like if you're already involved with someone or if you're waiting to get involved until you've done more healing work, the more that you can reflect on your own truth and kind of fearlessly express that, the less that you'll need to worry moving forward. It's almost like revealing yourself with your reveal card. Reveal who you truly are. Whatever you're going through might be because, yeah, you were hiding parts of yourself. And judging yourself and judging others. Because you were judging yourself. And once you've accepted yourself fully, that's when the discernment can open up. You'll no longer be judging other people, potentially falsely, but you'll have a clear discernment with who they truly are, based on their words and their actions, their vibe, how they make you feel. Final message for group 3. The Queen of Cups and the Nine of Cups reverse. Something that wasn't fully emotionally fulfilling or stable or stable. Maybe something that was hidden, like wanted to be hidden from the public eye. But what you want is actually stable. The Wheel of Fortune here too. Do we just want to do that? Let's do that. Who? We'll take these two. Okay, we'll take these two. Okay. Beautiful. So, you may have like a boundary around yourself right now that's keeping out the person that you could potentially spend the rest of your life with. And it's because of the fear and because of how you're judging the situation, or again, judging yourself. You might not have even met this person yet because you're not in vibration, or maybe you've met them and there's some block happening because you're not in alignment yet. But things will change. Things will change, and they'll be so happy and joyful and reciprocal with the Wheel of Fortune, the Three of Cups, and the Six of Pentacles. They'll be so good, and you'll find someone with such a caring heart and actually be able to connect with them. But it takes moving on from what happened. It was like this, but it takes moving on from what happened, from the abuse, from the mistreatment, and letting yourself leave it in the past so that you can move forward to someone who would never hurt you, who would never do that to you. I feel like I'm just repeating myself. The only cards that we have left are your T cards, your help cards. So what'll be helpful for you? Box, you will receive a gift, and success. Interesting. So I'm almost wondering if this box that you've put yourself in, it will be a gift in itself, because it will have made you into the person who's able to receive this potentially like lifelong person. And like your success with opening that key to the box and opening yourself up will be what helps you, really. And learning the lessons from it and taking that with you. It might even help your future person, or this person that you want to come into union with. think that's all I've got for you, group 3. I almost feel like this group wants more, but that's just what we have. So, I hope that you can receive that message with grace and gratitude, and to really take it to heart that you are worthy and you are beautiful and you do have such a bright burning flame, and that this energy is just waiting for you to open to it. Look at that beautiful blossom in the character's heart space, and just how much bounty surrounds her and how much life and beauty is in the aura. So that is waiting for you. Why did all of that happen? Honestly, it doesn't matter. And, you know, part of me would say, why did it happen? Because of your own judgment of yourself, of hiding yourself, of not even giving people a chance to love you for who you are because you were too afraid to reveal who you really were, and you were hiding. So what happened so that you could become who you actually are. And so that you could open your heart slowly, and so that you could come into union with this person who loves you for who you are. And maybe that's union with your higher self. Okay, group 3. I hope you have a really wonderful healing process, and that you like and subscribe and leave a comment. And I hope to see you next time. Bye. Hey group 4, welcome to your reading. Let's dive in. We're going to set these aside to read last. Those are your little helper cards. And your card is 18, Memories. So why? The answer to your why is something to do with memory. We're going to read the book. That's what we've done for each of the piles. This is the Gratitude Oracle by Angela Hartfield. The art is done by Josephine. I think her artwork is incredible. She is my favorite oracle artist. Okay. 18, Memories. When you think of individuals who have impacted your life positively or of special times from your past, memories may provide you with strength. On the other hand, they can also bring to mind tough challenges, loss, or hard-won lessons. As you experience life, you're continually creating memories. Your current view of your life is associated with how you recall past events. Some people can readily call up the good, where others may only remember the negative. Memories offer an opportunity to learn, recreate, or grow. Your memories serve a purpose. They assist in the shaping of your soul. They have helped to mold you into the person you are today. The people who influenced you are vital. The memories of your parents, role models, and teachers will impact your life for many years. The things you learned as a child will stay with you. You may have memories of specific phrases that a beloved grandparent, family member, or treasured friend often said. Your memories have created your favorite holidays and even your favorite foods. In small and large ways, your experiences help determine your values. If you look back on your life and cannot find good memories, it's up to you to start creating some. Live today, constructing new memories that represent the ideals and beliefs you can value. Build a library of laughter, love, and moments that you can look back on with fondness. Be proud of the memories you're currently making. Your affirmation is, I'm grateful for the memories that have shaped my life and made me who I am today. I love that. So why? Whatever you're asking about why, something to do with memory. I feel like if you're here, it might be like either one of two things. Either one, you maybe had some really good memories and you're experiencing a difficult time now. And so you're asking like, why is this so hard? It's because you've known really good and now what you're experiencing just feels difficult in comparison. On the reverse, you may be experiencing a lot of difficulty in life in general, and part of that is that your memories are influencing your present moment. So, as an example, if you had a childhood full of lack, like you didn't have the love that you needed, you didn't have the support that you needed, you didn't have the food on the table that you needed, you didn't have all the fancy vacations that your friends at school had, that might be impacting your present now by creating lack around you because it's what you've known. Perhaps if you are I'm thinking of pile 3 a little bit, but if you're struggling to let people into your life, it might be because of a difficult memory that you've had around relationships in the past that are influencing you now. So let's pull more information about it. This could go a lot of ways. We're going to pull from the Zodiacal Oracle. Astrological Oracle cards. What's at play here? What energies are at play for group 3? You have Aries and Pluto at the bottom, so potentially memories of anger, of violence, of darkness, of dramatic change, difficult new beginnings. You have Pisces, Taurus, and Capricorn. Yeah, so these might be people from the past that you have memories about, like maybe your parents. Memories of stability come to mind with Taurus and Capricorn because they're both very grounded and earthy. Capricorn, to me, that's Saturn, so it could typify like the father figure, the stable person, stable income, stable home life. Also, like, can be a little emotionally disconnected, especially if you're like the Pisces figure there. Pisces is very sensitive, and Capricorn is a bit more ruled by logic than emotion. And then Taurus is ruled by Venus and signifies material wealth, physical well-being, needs being met, having luxuries. So maybe you're here because, yeah, you feel as though, I'm getting kind of two things. You might be here because you're struggling to attract financial stability and prosperity. And it might be because of memories having to do with that. You also might be here because when I look at Pisces, Taurus, and Capricorn, if we're looking at the shadows, Pisces can be very... Why did I just think of the word dismissive? I feel like it would be receiving, like having figures be dismissive. I was trying to think of the word dissociative. You might dissociate with the energies of Taurus, like eating good food or engaging in physical pleasures, in place of emotional intimacy, perhaps because you were dismissed and so taught that being emotionally vulnerable is not okay. I am a Pisces sun also. Hi, I have a stellium in Pisces, so I really relate to this. I love my family, bless them, but I was raised by air signs, so I relate to this in ways. And yeah, it takes a lot of time and intentionality and safe people for this kind of healing process, but you definitely can. Yeah, I was kind of just looking at the cards and kind of got to being more like in your head or like fantasy space instead of grounded, because the grounded people in your life, you couldn't connect with them before, and so maybe it's easier to get lost in fantasies, fall in love with fantasy characters and have relationships with them instead of real people. Yeah, we have money. I just cut to money. Again, we're reading for lots of people. Take it as you will. But it could be the financial thing. Maybe not grounding the ideas in fantasies enough because, you know, your upbringing just wasn't prosperous. And so the sort of, I just got the word dismissive again, but the dissociative qualities of Pisces could be preventing you from attracting financial prosperity because you're not grounding the ideas and the daydreams into reality. They're kind of just living in that world. You have worthiness at the bottom, a negative mindset. This one has showed up for 3, if not all 4 of these piles. So That's like the little guy lurking at the back of like all of these. I mean, really, when it comes down to it, the power of the mind is huge, so that makes sense. We're going to put worthiness here, though. Try again was under it, so if you have failed, just try again. You have a lot of cards. Okay. You have positive expectation. That's the mirror card. I like it. Instead of negative mindset, positive expectation. New possible life paths have opened for you. Allow positive expectations to color your mind and soul. And going in order. Change. Something needs changing. Release. So there's something that you're releasing to help you come into this new thing. Meditate. Giving. Adventure. And inaction. Interesting. So there's definitely something that you need to let go of. Again, that's going to be different for all of you. Probably whatever first popped into your mind is what needs to be released. It could be getting rid of clutter, releasing old belongings, especially things that have negative memories attached to them or make you think in negative ways. Things that don't light you up. I'm thinking of the Marie Kondo, like, hold each item in your hand and ask, does this spark joy in me? And if it doesn't, get rid of it. If that is your thing, you can also give it to others, and that will help bring in more prosperity to you, releasing your load in what you already have. I'm imagining it like there's a treasure chest, and if it's already full of junk, there's not really room for treasure to come in. So decluttering and dejunking might help bring in more to you, especially if you're giving to charity, maybe. Meditate. Maybe just like letting yourself get still too is really important at this time, and letting yourself quiet your mind. You may be having a lot of loud thoughts come in of sort of lack mentality, and meditating can help you redirect, maybe even doing some kind of mantra. I wonder if, I mean, you could be changing cities even, like maybe because you have adventure and change and there's a house there. I almost wonder if like moving could be in the books for you. I would meditate first. Don't try to like jump on anything, but if there's a place that you've maybe been wanting to live, people you've been wanting to live around, bring that into your meditation, see if it feels right. The inaction card says too much talk and not enough action is hindering progress. Pull another card for more details on how to move forward. Well, okay, we'll pull one more, I guess. You got two. It is finished and development. We've all said, I'm not finished, just one more stroke. Well, each new day you can create a new phrase. Let this one be finished. And then development says, this work may need more developing to be its best. Diamonds are created with mounds of pressure. Keep working at this. Interesting. So, to move forward, know when something is ready to be let go of, and when it's done, and when it could still be worked on. So I just thought of in my mind like relationships. If you have a friendship where somebody is like constantly like putting you down or insulting you or something, like maybe that's a clear sign that that one's finished. Maybe you have another friendship in which your friend is really going through something and they're not able to show up for you the way that a friend would at this time. And just have the discernment to know when like maybe this is just a temporary thing and this is actually a good person going through something. Same with art. I mean, I just feel like this is discernment in general. Know when to stay in a job and when to leave. Know when to pursue a certain means of income or networking or something, and know when to let go of it. It's so funny that you would get such a duality for how to move forward. But I do just keep coming back to discernment, like knowing when to stay and when to go. Especially like with the adventure and change, like with changing homes. Say you've lived, I'll give two different examples. Say you're like me and you've lived in a place for less than a year and things haven't been going how you want so far. Like you haven't been, like your business hasn't grown as much as you want it to, or you haven't met as much community as you want to. Like, if it's been less than a year, that's not really a lot of time to actually settle in and get grounded and expand, because we have to fully actually, you know, ground down and feel safe before we can get expansive. But if you've lived in a place for 5 years and those things haven't happened for you, like, it's probably time to move on. So you're working with that duality, and maybe that's part of your memories was, you know, maybe you had parents who should have stayed together and worked things out, but they moved on. Or maybe you had parents who should have gotten a divorce, but they stayed together. I almost feel like that's the duality that you're working with here, is understanding when to stay and when to go. Yeah, and the earth signs, Capricorn and Taurus, are more likely to stay put, whereas Pisces is more likely to drift and be fluid. So it's also somewhat knowing your nature, knowing what you're looking for. I would look at your north and south node. Like for me, my south node is in Pisces, so that's like my natural way of being and how I was sort of influenced and brought up as a kid, which is more of that like drifty, sort of etheric. I keep thinking dismissive instead of dissociative. I feel like you're dismissing something. I don't know. Maybe you're dismissing something that you shouldn't be dismissing. Maybe someone's dismissing you and they shouldn't be, and that's your sign. But anyway, so Pisces South Node would be symbolic of having that innate, quality. But the opposite of it is Virgo, which would be the North Node, which is the qualities of like putting in day-to-day work, working in the physical realm, getting grounded, getting into the body, and yeah, becoming more stable, which is, again, it comes with discernment, right? Like, I can know these things about myself that innately I might want to drift, but if I want to grow, it's important that I be stable. So look for that in your chart and look at the qualities of it. Yeah, whatever's being dismissed or dismissive, let it go. Maybe you just needed to hear that. You're worthy of being taken seriously and listened to. Giving, 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 giving. Yeah, meditate on how you can give, maybe. As you release things, maybe this is part of your why. Maybe something to do with memories have prevented you from fully showing up in the world, and maybe you're finding new ways to give that are authentic to you. Anyway, I feel like I'm dragging on. Let's look at your tiki. Ooh. Is there something about Hawaii here? Are you moving to Hawaii? I love that for you. Take me with you. I'll read your cards every day. Oh my god, and you do have hammock, taking a vacation physically or mentally along with adventure. I wonder if you are like going to Hawaii or to a beach somewhere, to Bali or the French Polynesia or something. Tiki, that's hilarious. And then dog, far away, a distant friend is thinking of you. Yeah, so I guess a few things here, right? Like, A, I wonder if you're visiting a friend that's far away and if this could maybe help you with this. Maybe it's someone that you can talk to about this. Maybe they knew you in childhood. Maybe they've just known you a long time. Maybe they're even like a family member who's a friend and they were with you and they, you know, you guys can chat about old memories. Maybe that's part of why you need to take a trip, is to talk about memories. Maybe a friend wants to help you or can help you with this. Maybe they can give you clarity about your childhood if you were sort of dissociative or dismissed. Like maybe they have a perspective that is less biased than you, because you know we all want to see what we want to see, especially when we're kids. We're so sensitive. We'll sometimes ignore things we don't want to see. Taking a vacation physically or mentally, and adventure. Tiki. I don't know. I hope you go to Hawaii. I'm gonna leave it at that, you guys. I don't know. I think I need to go eat food. My little Pisces brain is getting all drifted off into the ether, but I hope that this was helpful for you. And that you find that discernment, that you can let go of what you need to let go of, and that you can continue to develop what's actually good for you and what's there for you. Yeah, like and subscribe if you liked this. Leave a comment if it resonated. And I hope to see you next time. Bye!